Hey guys, and welcome back to the Pokemon Fab 5. I am your host, Swami Studios, aka Moonlight Swami, and today we have week number 3 of the NPA for season number 3, the National Pokemon Association Battling League. We are the Colorado Rapidash, and I am repping my good friend and fellow Fab 5 members team, the Chicago Cubchews. I am number 18, your Swami, and we are taking on the Choice Specs and the Orlando Magikarps. Today, as they sit at 1-1, they beat Jodor week number 1, a 1-0 victory, and they lost to the Exception, the Tampa Bay Luxrays, last week, 3-0. So they're 1-1, we're 2-0. Let's take a look at our team real quick before we get into it. This is an interesting team because he has a lot of speed to it. He has Dragonite, Mandibuzz, Aerodactyl, Mismagius, Sceptile, Pyroar, Mega Slowbro, Scolipede, Snorlax, Gardevoir, and Magneton. Which means that he has 5 Pokemon over base 104 speed, which is ridiculous. That's a lot of speed. So we have a way to counter that though, and it's not through bulk, it is through speed of our own. So we're going to start things off with our Tyranitar. It is a fun set. It is a Rock Polish, Crunch, Ice Punch, Rock Slide, Sandstream set with Life Orb. For this set, we have 252 attack, just max attack. 228 speed means that we will outspeed pretty much everything. We hit 220. And the goal was to outspeed Dragonite and Gardevoir at +1. So if a Gardevoir is Scarfed or Dragonite has a Dragon Dance up, we will outspeed. This Pokemon can OHKO everything on his team except for Mismagius with a Cold Berry sometimes, Snorlax, and Mega Slowbro. One shot. Everything on his team. Well, some things need rocks. Like Dragonite because of multi-scale, but that's it. Next up we have Mew, and this is our counter to a few different things. It is a Transform Mew with Ice Beam, Volt Switch, and Trick. So we have the Bolt Beam, we have Trick, 252 HP, 252 speed, Serious Nature with the Scarf. And the fun thing about this set is that it will outspeed a Dragonite at +1. It will outspeed pretty much anything in that realm. 152 means that it does hit 228, which outspeeds Guardy, which outspeeds Dragonite. It will not outspeed a +1 Scolipede, but I have a feeling that he won't bring Scolipede. If he does, okay, but I just have a feeling. Next up, we have our Rotom Heat. Discharge, Volt Switch, Overheat, Trick, Levitate, Choice Specs. And Rotom Heat is max special attack, but a timid nature, so we hit 146, 44 HP to 12 speed, and we put Choice Specs on this just to hit the Mega Slowbro really hard, and the Discharge is basically to slow down his team. He has no ground types, which means that we can fire away our electric attacks without harm, and on top of that we have Trick, because if he brings the Snorlax, I would love to trick a Choice Specs onto it and just get rid of it. After that, we have our Excadrill, which is our normal Excadrill, Sand Rush, Life Orb, X-Scissor, Earthquake, Rock Slide, Swords Dance. This is just a really fast Scizor. It will hit 292 at +1, which will outspeed Scolipede, guaranteed, also 146. I don't remember the exact speed tier why I chose 146. I think it was to outspeed Gardevoir. Base Gardevoir and base Dragonite. I think that's why I chose that. After that, we have Weezing, Will-O-Wisp, Toxic, Sludge Bomb, Hidden Power, Ground for the Magneton. This is a kind of a mix set, 252 HP, 56 defense with a Bold Nature, 100 special defense, 100 special attack. It can hit in a few different ways. The Toxic is obviously for the Slowbro as well. And lastly, we have Randall, our Kecleon. This is just a really bulky Kecleon, 252 HP, 252 attack, Adamant Nature, Drain Punch, Thunder Punch, Shadow Sneak, Stealth, Rocks. So the rocks are here. Shadow Sneak, get away from a Snorlax trying to go for a fighting type move, or any fighting type moves. Can hit back. Thunder Punch is for the Mandibuzz. It is for the Slowbro, just for some chip damage. And basically, the Protein Nature, this thing does hit pretty hard. Gets to 156 attack, which is pretty solid. considering the Rotom at 105 is 252 and it's 157 before the specs. So, I mean, that's pretty solid right there. I'm really happy with this team. I think we have a good matchup advantage because he has 5 Mons that are weak to rocks. So that's definitely something useful, and having Stealth Rocks on Kecleon should help out a ton. So without further ado, I think he is ready to go. Basically, what I'm expecting for his team is Dragonite, Mismagius, Sceptile, Mega Slowbro, Snorlax, and Gardevoir. I don't think we'll see the Magneton. We could. It would be a bit risky. The Dragonite I'm expecting, just because he's brought up both times. The Mega Slowbro I'm expecting. The Scolipede, I don't know. I just don't think it's a good matchup. Maybe because of its speed it is, but I don't know. It's a tough one. It's a good Pokemon. Very good Pokemon. And it can hit us hard in a lot of different ways, so it's something to be careful of. Mega Horn can one-shot us. Tyranitar, that is. So, gotta be careful there. That'll be another Pokemon I'd love to swap a choice specs onto. Guardy's interesting. Mage is interesting. Mega Slowbro is going to be a crux to his team, and we're going to have to figure out how to play around it a little bit. But we do have options. The only things that it can hit decently hard, I mean, it's a problem because we do have 4 Pokemon that have, we're bringing 3 that are weak to water, but Weezing's weak to it as well, but we hit really hard. Set all level to 50. Yes. Okay. Fantastic. And just like that, we are ready to go. So Mega Slowbro will be an issue. I do think Rotom still can hit it really hard. So we'll see exactly what he's there for. Let's see. Rotom, Heat. Your Toast versus Slowbro. OU defensive. Oh yeah, Discharge Oko's it if it's 248 HP, 232 defense. So I'm expecting it not to be that set, but I still think that's a lot of damage. Volt Switch still does a ton. And Mew can still do a ton in this situation as well. So, I mean, 30, okay. Wow. Wow. That's an interesting team. Arrow, Dragonite, Mandibuzz, Slowbro, Snorlax, and Guardy. So no Sceptile, which I was worried about. No Mismagius, which could have been a really big issue because now he doesn't really have a Mon that is a burn threat. No Magneton, so that Hidden Power Ground really kind of is a wasted spot. No Pyroar. Okay. We're going to lead with Mew because it is Choice Scarfed. And if he wants to lead with the Aerodactyl, we can Volt Switch and Volt Switch right into our Kecleon and go from there. But I think Mew is the perfect play. I don't care if it shows that we're scarfed early, if he leads with Aerodactyl, but just some pivot right off the gate, I think it's going to be really good. And if he leads with Dragonite, we're going for an Ice Beam. I don't care. We'll outspeed it at +1, and we can take it out. So, let's see. Mew versus Dragonite. Okay, yeah, that's a 2-hit. So, we're in a good spot right out of the gate. Let's see what he goes with. Good luck to you, Mr. Choice Specs. And we are underway as we toss out our beautiful, shiny Mew. And he's going to lead with Petrie, which is the Aerodactyl. Okay. So, Aerodactyl is an interesting Pokemon because this thing probably is going to be a suicide-type lead. And honestly, we can just Volt Switch right out. He's probably going to set up rocks early. But that's fine. That's completely fine with me. Don't need to take really any unnecessary damage here. I know that Randall can probably take this thing out next turn. Yeah, it could. It could have taken it out right out of the gate, too, which is unfortunate that we didn't lead with it. But in case the Dragonite was there, I was prepared not to deal with that. I would have been scared, to say the least, if he led with Dragonite and we didn't have a good check for it. Because that's when things start getting out of control really early. And I think that's why we need Pivot on this team, just because Dragonite, de-dancing and setting up really could be an issue for us. So I think that's probably the thought process here. Tyranitar, what could T-Tar do? I don't want to switch it in against this thing, but we could begin... We don't need to set up anytime soon. He has 2 checks for us. So Volt Switch comes out. It's going to do not too much. I mean, that's probably what was expected. Let's see. Yeah, 43 to 51%. So this does have maybe a little bit of bulk to it. I think we're going to go into our Kecleon here. Yeah. So we do outspeed Arrow, which is not a surprise. And he's going to go for the taunt. Interesting. Interesting move, so he doesn't get rocks up this turn. And that means that we can go for a very safe Thunder Punch. We didn't see any items, so I'm assuming this is Focus Sash. The Thunder Punch is going to come out, and it's going to do enough to it. It'll KO it. I think it's really cool that Kecleon, because of Protein, really can hit everything hard. It's a very underrated Pokemon. And even 26% to a Mega... Oh, it's not going to be Mega. To Slowbro. It'll do 38 to 45% to Slowbro. Not bad. Stealth Rocks, okay. So, down goes the Aerodactyl early. No concern there for me. And the fact that we're now Electric type is really cool. Because that thing is toast, yeah. Fantastic. We are taunted, which means that we can't get our rocks up, which could be a bit of a concern against the Dragonite, which, if he brings that in, I'm really scared. If not, I'm kind of interested to see what he goes for. Mandibuzz, probably not. Guardy, definitely not. It's probably going to be the Dragonite. And if we just showed Thunder Punch, so if he thinks that we're not going to carry Ice Punch, Dragonite could come in. On the other hand, we could always switch back into Mew and Ice Beam the Dragonite and go from there. It's a tough decision, but we did take out the Aerodactyl. It is a suicide lead, so it's not too unexpected, but I didn't want to lead Rotom because we will not outspeed, obviously, and that would have been problematic just from the perspective of this thing could actually KO us, which would have been really quite terrible. So, sitting where we are right now, Dragonite probably would be an issue because it can begin setting up. We could always go for the switch into Weezing because it does wall it pretty well. Right, Weezing probably could handle it. Yeah, it could handle it. Even a +1 Outrage probably couldn't do too much. 75%. Maybe more. Laura Jane is the Gardevoir. Traced Protein. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna go for the Shadow Sneak. Because Gardevoir really is frail. Really is frail. I don't think it'll take this well at all. No, it won't. He does get to find out some information about our team, but the better we can take out his obstacles, the easier this match will become. Shadow Sneak comes out, we become the Ghost type. This is going to do a ton to Gardevoir. Oh yeah, that's a lot of damage. And Moonblast comes out. It is now a Fairy type. Oh, that's so cool. Now Shadow Sneak probably won't 2-hit. Huh. Please tell me that our taunt wears off. If the taunt wears off, I'm going to be so happy. Let's go. Okay. We're going for Stealth Rocks. Without the Psychic typing, Shadow Sneak would do... Maybe enough? At that point, probably Thunder Punch would be the smarter play. But this is more of getting... This is more of taking out the Gardevoir than anything. I mean, setting up Stealth Rocks to break Dragonite's multi-scale than anything. If we can do that, we're set. But Moonblast is the only thing that we know about this Gardevoir. I'm assuming it's Scarfed. It could be Specs. To switch into Kecleon, he must be afraid of it. He must be afraid of it. He's going to find out our third move here. A smart play would be to go into Dragonite, but I don't think he's going to do that. And Dragonite is still an issue. Based on that damage, yeah, it seems like this is probably a choice Scarf set more than anything. Dragonite, 75%. It's dangerous. Yeah, here comes the switch into Borlax. Ooh. Ooh. This is interesting because Snorlax now is going to definitely not want to take a Drain Punch, and we do outspeed it. So he'll be able to get back up to full, and if he wants to start cursing, we could always go into Mew and just transform. But now he's going to see our last move, and now when the Gardevoir comes back in, it's in trouble. So we do have the rocks up. Both teams have rocks up, which is no concern. We'll see what Snorlax can do here. Even if it was a max defense set, it would still take like 45%. Which, you know, that's a lot. So, let's see exactly what kind of set... Oh, he's going to switch out. In comes Hodor and Bran. That is going to be the Slowbro, who does take some damage. And we're going to Drain Punch, and that's going to be no big deal. That's still decent damage. It's down to 25%, and Kecleon is looking solid here. So, I'm expecting a Scald to come out. Slowbro does get very slow. very, very slow. It's only a base 30 speed. And obviously Kecleon has value to this match. So I'm going to go into Mew, I think. And I'm going to take a Scald from him. I don't want to take any damage for Kecleon just yet, because obviously he is afraid of it. The fact that he switched into Snorlax and then switched into this probably means that he was scouting out for the Drain Punch, which that's a good play. He now knows my full moveset on Kecleon, which is not the end of the world, to say the least. But he's pivoting a lot, and he doesn't really have a good way to handle Kecleon outside of this. I guess you could say Dragonite does have a decent matchup now because it knows that I can't one-shot it, but still, yeah, it's only 17% or so. No, it's actually 34 to 41%, which that's pretty solid damage. We don't have other priority though. That's the only issue. So we're going to switch out. We'll see if he predicts it. We're going to go into Mew. He finds out that this is our counter to the Slowbro. We'll take some rocks damage, which, no big deal. And he's going to go for the Slack Off. He forgot to Mega. It's all good. Don't worry about it. I am going to go for... Do I Volt Switch out? I think I'm going to. Yeah, he just messaged me, forgot to Mega. Doesn't matter. All I can say is lucky I didn't hit him, because if I did, then he would have been in some trouble. Regardless, that's the fact that Mew's back in. I'm not sure what he thinks of this Mew set. It's an interesting set. We know he has Slack Off. I'm assuming he has Scald, Psyshock, and Calm Mind. If he has Calm Mind, then we can effectively start chipping away at it. I'm not going to expect that he's going to go for a Psychic. I'm going to expect that he goes for a Scald. He's going to switch out. Oh, back into Borlax. Okay, perfect. Because now we get a matchup that we like a lot. We can choose our matchup here. Versus this Snorlax, which doesn't seem to have leftovers. It might. Kecleon does a lot. How much does Tyranitar? 45. How about Exca? 51. Excadrill is not a terrible play. I don't want to bring it out just yet. I'm going to go back into Kecleon. And I'm going to go for a Drain Punch, because if he has Earthquake, he could take us out. I just have a feeling that if he's rocking Earthquake, that Kecleon, if we are Electric type, he could do a lot of damage, basically. And we can't do too much with a Thunder Punch anyway, so I don't wanna deal with it. Just gonna go for the safe Drain Punch, not gonna over predict, see what he goes into. The rocks are not his friend, essentially. With the rocks up, he's just kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place here, because Mandibuzz, you know, is going to take damage. It can't particularly switch in on a Kecleon. Dragonite could, but it's going to take a lot of damage, and I'm sure that that's his sweeper sitting in the back. So Gardevoir is not a safe switch in either. I guess he could take a Drain Punch, but it can't take another Shadow Sneak. So we kind of have him pinned right now, where he is probably going to go back into the Slowbro. And if he goes back into Slowbro, then I'm okay. There really is no harm in that from the perspective of we have a good matchup. We can still Thunder Punch it. We can still Shadow Sneak it. Okay, back out into Light Year. Is that the Dragon? Oh, that's the Mandibuzz. Huh. So that's going to take a ton. Nice, nice. Is it going to be Rocky Helmet? No, leftovers. Okay, based on that damage, Drain Punch did about 22%. I think a Thunder Punch could take it out, but I'm not going to bank on that. He's going to go for the Roost. Okay. Well, that's fine. That is so fine by me. We know it has Roost now. Thunder Punch is going to come out. Now it can't touch us. I think that's a good thing for us. Let's see, that did about 25%. And we can go for another Thunder Punch. Because if he Roosts again, then we can just go for a Drain Punch the next turn. So this is going to be a bit stally at this moment. He's probably going to go for a Defog to get rid of those Stealth Rocks because obviously the biggest issue for him is having the multi-scale break. Because Dragonite is frail once multi-scale is broken. He goes for the knockoff, which is just going to knock off our leftovers. Not the end of the world. Thunder Punch does come out, and it does good damage. Very good damage, actually. Now we're going to go for a Drain Punch. We're going to get our health back, and yeah. Because he does outspeed, I don't think there's any harm in it. And this is a very offensive Kecleon, which is why I like it a lot. Honestly, we could switch out this turn into Rotom, scare him out, and trick the Choice Specs onto the Snorlax. Goes for the foul play. Okay, predicting the Drain Punch, I guess. That does so much damage. Oh my god. We're going to gain back some health here. If we are fighting type, how much is that going to do to us? It could take us out. It could. We're at 51. It's 30% actually. Yeah, it's a roll. I'm going to go into Rotom. Gonna save Kecleon for another day. Because it is not our only check by far to the Snorlax, but this Mandibuzz has shown that it can be a bit of a pain in our side. We're going to take some Stealth Rocks damage, and Rotom will take at least a decent chunk from, well, assuming that he goes for the foul play. But I doubt it. I think he's going to Roost up here. He likes to predict. And we will outspeed this thing, guaranteed. So, if he Roosts up, he'll probably be at around a good percentage. But we can, at that situation, go for a Discharge or go for the Trick. Snorlax taking a Discharge doesn't do much. So I think the Trick is probably the right play. Foul play? Okay. Not much. I mean, that's fine. Rotom is taking some damage, and we do have to be careful because this is a good check for our... this is a very good check for the Slowbro. I'm going to go for the Trick. I'm expecting a special defense wall to be the Snorlax. And if that's the case, then we can get that thing locked into a move that it doesn't want to be in. Which doesn't hurt us at all, actually. This is our first predict of basically the season. We've been very... not cautious, we've been pretty straightforward. And he's playing the prediction game, and he's doing a good job with it. The first time that there's been too many predictions, or there's been any predictions against us, is this matchup. So, we know 3 of the moves. I'm assuming the last one is going to be Defog, but we're going to go for the Trick, and if it tricks this into a Choice Specs move, that's still fine, because then we get to get some leftovers on Rotom, and even without the Choice Specs, we can take this thing out if it doesn't go for a Roost here. So, that's at least a good thing for us. Yeah. Let's see. Yep, withdrew it. What's coming in? Borlax. Unless it's a Z move, which could be terrible for us. Done. What's your item? Figgy Berry. Ooh, nice, thank you. I love Figgy Berries. It'll confuse me though. So now time to Volt Switch on out of here. See you, Borlax. I'll just take your item and run. No need to stay in. I think he's gonna go for... He can't go for an EQ. I think this is a good time to go into Tyranitar. But now we've crippled Snorlax, so I'm so happy with that. This is taking a little bit of a longer match. We've already been 22 minutes in and only one Pokemon has been lost. He's taking his time. We're going to Volt Switch out. It's not going to do anything to this thing. Oh, that's a crit. No, it's not. Oh, this is defensive. That did a lot of damage. I think we go into Wheezing here. That should not have done that much damage. Facade. Locking itself in a Facade, eh? Okay. If that's what it's going to do, then we can go for a Sludge Bomb. And hope we don't poison it. How much should that have done? That did not do 14 to 17%. This is a defensive Snorlax. It has to be. That did like 25%. Facade again. Okay. Weezing's getting whittled down a little bit. Guarantee that we live. I'm going to go for the HP ground. Yeah. It's under 25%. The Facade will not be able to kill us. And now a Sludge Bomb should, in theory, take this out. And I didn't get the poison either. That's too bad. But we can do something very good right now. Okay. Here comes Tyranitar. Actually, that's really good for us. Really good for us. Let's see. So, first kill was Kecleon kills Arrow. Snorlax kills Weezing. Okay. Rock Polish. Facade comes out, does nothing, and Borlax goes down. That's a kill for T-Tar through sand, and now things get interesting. Gardevoir is toast in this situation. Dragonite is done. Mandibuzz is done. Gardevoir is done. Slowbro is his only switch in, and it's going to take a ton. Tyranitar to Slowbro. It's a 2-hit. It is a 2-hit. Guaranteed. guaranteed 2-hit, unless he burns us. Which, if you're relying on burn, and he gets it, we will switch out Tyranitar, preserve it, get the sand back up, and let Excadrill finish it. But it is a guaranteed 2-hit. Tyranitar with Rock Polish, plus the sand, so we get the Sandstorm boost to our special defense. So Scald can only do 43 to 51% or so, depending on his set. Even if he was max special attack, it would only do 51% in the 61% in the sand. I think we've got him pinned right now. We sacrificed Weezing for this very reason. In comes Lord Jane, which will not outspeed us, as we know. It's going to trace the Sandstorm, which is fine by me. Going to go for the Crunch. It won't outspeed us. We're 220. Gardevoir cannot hit 220. Okay. Yep, Gardevoir can only hit 217.5. We are 220. Hodor and Brand comes in. It's going to take some damage. And now it is going to take a Crunch. So he's relying on a burn. If he gets it, I'm going to be very sad because we are actually just outside the range. 113 is 63%. So if he was max special attack, it would do 61%. And I just can't see that being... actually, if he was modest, it would do 68% max. But I just can't see that being his set. If it is, kudos to him. Then we're going to be in a little bit of trouble, because this was a good counter to it. But a Crunch will bring it down to a good amount, actually. Depending. We'll see. He does Mega. Let's see what this thing does. Crunch. Oh, that's great damage. Oh my god, he expected to take it better. That's game. That is game right there. It's over. It's over! It's over. He can't kill us. T-Tar wins. That's it. Mandibuzz goes down to a Rock Slide or to a... I think it even goes down to an Ice Punch here. Lightyear comes in. How much health? Oh, that's it. Yeah, there's no way. Even max special, even max defense, this thing goes down. No point in risking a miss. Ice Punch. That's game. Yep. Sandstorm is gone. There is not a single calc in the world that can save Dragonite. It'll take its damage from the Stealth Rocks. And now an Ice Punch does 133% if it is max HP. Good game to the Choice Specs. He cannot outspeed. I cannot miss unless he is Bright Powder. That's game. That is game. Good game. T-Tar ends it with a 5-0 victory. We are 3-0 in the NPA for season number 3 as Rock Polished T-Tar wipes the floor and cleans the sweep. Kecleon got a kill. Technically, we got the kill through our Sand on Snorlax, but that is 5 kills for Tyranitar. What a game. I'm so happy with that set. Oh man, we are 3-0. 3-0 in our first season in League format since the New Age Battling League, which I helped run way back in the day. Next week we'll be taking on Duncan Knee Deep and the Free State Torracats. It's going to be an interesting matchup, to say the least. He has a very scary team. I don't know what Duncan's record is right now. Coming into when I'm recording this, he's 1-1. Garchomp, Alakazam, Alolan Muck, Ditto, Togetic, Lantern, Kartana, Terrakion, Golem, Xatu, and Rampardos. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm Moonlight Swami, and the Colorado Rapidash are 3-0. Peace!